Guardian Con events going off. No shit. Ah!
We were better off with those guys than we are now with the supposedly hip young executives, who are making the decisions of what people should see and hear in the marketplace. The young guys are more conservative and more dangerous to the art form than the old guys with the cigars ever were.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Roaches in Review.
Shit. I gotta mute this.
We just watched episode 2 of Loki, and
Thank fuck that was better than the first one.
yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of stuff that happened in it that I ended up taking notes and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
I think you actually wrote down.
Shit, we used to do that shit in what did we do that for? We did that for Mando.
And we did it for Witcher.
Yeah. We actually took notes on the episode so we could tell people how it went.
Yeah, obviously
Shit that we thought was funny.
Yeah, in the first portion of what we're doing here, we're obviously not going to spoil anything for anyone. We're gonna do it non-spoilers.
For a little bit.
Spoil everything.
No. All in all,
Get
though,
Ruby out of this show.
I don't mind Ruby. You guys hate on her so much. I don't
don't like her acting, dude. It's awful.
It's horrible.
It's fucking terrible.
Damn, dude, you guys hate so hard on her, bro.
I didn't like her in whatever that was called either.
Fair.
Lovecraft Country. I like the show, but
yeah. Well, whatever.
man.
So you guys thought that this episode was way better than episode 1, huh?
Fucking hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, this episode went a lot more in depth in all of the aspects of
Yeah, I wasn't falling asleep.
yeah, all of the aspects of Loki in the TVA and all of that kind of stuff. This episode really dives into that, and Mobius and him have a pretty interesting relationship in this episode.
I mean, you know my man's scheming always.
Yeah, I love that though. Like throughout the entire episode in here, Loki is just like diabolical, like we all love him to be. So it's cool to see him have like an ulterior motive the entire episode.
Oh, for sure.
Chat says you've been down recently, man. So
down hard, bro. Fucking yeah.
Fair. Did this episode put you in a better mood?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Getting off that job site today put me in a better mood.
Fair.
I'll be back Monday. My hair game's real weak. Yeah, come on, man.
Fair enough. Chat's going in on Stone right now.
I told you they would.
Yeah. Yep, it's all good though. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
Appreciate you.
Fair.
Work, homies.
There's a big reveal in this episode that
I was so happy that it happened this episode and not in 7 episodes.
how did the
Yeah.
reveal? I mean, we'll talk about it more in spoilers and stuff like that. But how did that? Did you guys like that, or did you guys were you guys not a fan?
Don't
Jordan
like
doesn't
how
look
it
like
was.
he's a fan.
Don't like how it was done. I like it, but not how they presented it.
Okay, that's fair.
I feel like it could have been in a different place. To be honest.
That and how it was like uncovered. It
Yeah.
just seemed a little weak.
Yeah. I do kind of like how they didn't drag it out for, 4 more episodes.
5 episodes.
Yeah. Because this is a
100%.
6 episode long series, and it would have been kind of shitty to have like a hooded figure the entire
The whole time.
series. Yeah. So you do get a reveal. I guess that is kind of spoilerish.
I was gonna say if you watched the last review or you were here, my thought was wrong.
Yeah.
My analysis was way off.
Yeah.
Remember what you were saying?
What in the
I'll get it. I
review?
don't even remember what your analysis was. And we
Well,
can get
it was
into
just
that
a guess of
after,
who
but-
of who it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I still don't remember who you thought it was, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's an
Spoilers.
easy guess,
Um,
to say the least.
how did you guys feel about like the Mobius and Loki screen time in this episode? They get a lot more. It was kind of like
Yeah.
I thought
Owen Wilson's good, dude. He's so good.
I thought it was really
They're
well done in this
both great.
episode. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like
They're
seeing them
both
on screen.
fantastic fucking actors, 100%.
Yeah. I thought they killed the roles, and it was really fun watching them kind of play off of each other
Right.
in this episode, and you get a lot of that, and I think that's obviously a speaking testaments to their acting skills, but it's
Well, Mobius's motives are already presented out there, and it's cool to see that he's not just gonna give in to Loki's dumb shit, and
right, yeah, he's smart. I like how
that's not really spoiler related. It happened in episode 1 too.
it's weird seeing Owen Wilson play a role where he's not just kind of like the goofball. And
Shout out to Tommy right now.
in this one, oh wow. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Tommy.
Appreciate you, homie.
Wow. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you very much. Hell yeah. Prime subscription. Enjoy your roach emotes, dude. Yeah, but it was interesting seeing Owen Wilson play a character that does have his wits about him. Him play like that goofball role too, and he sells it to me. I really enjoyed seeing him on screen. And
Wow.
yeah. He hasn't done that yet. He hasn't done that yet in the show.
I don't think they're gonna let him
I
do
hope
it.
I wish at the end.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
end scene, I
at-
wish it would have
yeah.
just been like, wow.
Yeah, I know. I was
Just like
thinking
the
this.
very last
Just
episode.
give it to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was thinking the
Just-
same thing.
Yeah, dude.
So that was fun, man. The episode in general, again, I really like this show. I think this episode, the show itself kind of is like, yeah, like we're ramping it up for everybody now. Like we gave you guys the build up episode and the information episode, and now we're gonna kind of go in full force.
Yeah, I'm happy it was only 1 episode long that you kind of got to build.
Yeah.
This is still building, but still revealing a lot too, which is sweet.
Yeah.
It's relieving. It's nice to feel that from Marvel right now.
For me, and this isn't a spoiler, but in this show, because it deals with time, I feel like that this show does a really good job um uh, of like displaying time discrepancies well. Like they handle time in general like in a believable way, in my opinion. Like in
Like
Endgame,
the
there
like
was,
the way the show is like being produced, they are,
I mean, like in the
or
sense of
just like the
like,
actual sense of the show.
I mean like
Because I would hope they are, because they're freaking TVA.
right. I mean like the presence of the TVA, how they handle the timelines and what they do in each timeline to fix them and stuff like that. I think is handled a pretty valid way, in my opinion. You know, I think in Endgame there was like so many questions that, you know, myself and a lot of other Marvel heads like were just kind of like, what? Like everybody's going back in time. Like how does this affect everything else? And I think that this show gives you a good scale of like multiverse events or quote unquote nexus events and how they are handled is what I'm saying.
So, I mean, I want to know how these quote unquote Nexus events are even. Never mind. Scarlet Witch is just a fucking nut.
Well, yeah, she's a
And
nexus
just can
being.
create her. Yeah.
Yeah, like nexus events are caused. They tell you by variant by people wandering off the path and causing chaos in another timeline because they wandered off their specific path. Sorry.
It was a. Oh fuck! I can't. It's spoilers.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn it!
But I like
Going back to your Mobius and Loki, like, more screen time. The conversation they had was nice. It was
yeah,
actually pretty cool.
yeah. I agree. I
What the topics were.
yeah, for sure, dude. Like there's a lot of stuff that in regards to, you know, their like relationship in this, a lot of, you know, them doing like one-liners back to each other and stuff like that in this one, and it's dope. I really enjoy it. What?
Not my fucking stream was freezing. I
Oh,
was just making sure it wasn't what anybody else was into.
word. How'd you guys feel about the pacing of this one? Because episode 1, you know, was kind of stale for
I
you
was
both.
not. I was not bored.
Right, yeah.
Because I was actually going along with the plot of this episode. Like, I guess what they were doing, I was trying to go through my own head. Like, what is it? Where is it? Where did it? All that.
Right.
Got me thinking. It didn't have me fucking snoozing.
Yeah, I remember a lot of the comments about episode 1 was that it was just boring, and like in this
I
one,
mean,
there's a lot of
aside
stuff
from
going on.
aside from the workday, I mean, I'm tired as fuck right now, but I love that episode.
Right. Yeah.
But I enjoyed that thoroughly more than the first one.
Yeah, fair enough, dude.
Especially when what's her name fell down.
Oh, yeah. Fair. Yeah.
Ready to go
Get
night night?
into that. I want to talk about that, but I can't. yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Let's do final verdicts here and wrap up the non-spoiler section of the
That's fine.
episode.
I'm giving this one a 7, 100%.
7, okay. Solid
Significantly
score.
better than my first.
Yeah, from going from a
episodes.
5 to a 7 is, I mean, 2 points. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Jordan, what about
Well, that's
you?
because it was actually good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree on a 7 as
7?
well.
Okay. This one for me was a solid 8. I think for me, in my personal
Yeah, I could see
opinion.
that. I could see you saying that.
I was gonna say, for me, this one delivered everything that I wanted. It. Holy fucking gifts,
Tommy!
Jesus.
Let's go, dude.
Holy crap. Okay, so yeah.
Holy shit.
All right, hang on. Let me finish up my final verdict, and then I'll do a shout out while we're switching to the spoiler section to Tommy. Cause holy moly, brother, holy crap.
Save this shit for Sundays, dog. 11 a.m.
Yeah, for real, man. Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ty's balls just dropped for the third time.
Hell yeah, man. They drop every day. Go up and then they come back down every day.
Jeepers.
All right. So anyway, for me, this one delivered everything that
Solid
I
8, you
wanted.
said.
There was
Hell yeah.
plenty of action. There was plenty of intrigue. There was plenty of information.
Or did you get answers?
Yeah, like I mean,
You
this
got
one.
answers to questions that you kind of formed in episode 1?
Right, for sure. Yeah.
Hell
As
yeah.
well as, you get answers from conversations that Mobius and Loki have about certain things that I thought were really interesting. And, just in general, like the plot really amps up in this one, man. Like it's really cool to see Loki really hungry in the TVA and wanting to get his, schemes on and stuff like that. So this one was really cool for me. I really enjoyed it, and I think it was.
I have
definitely
one
an 8.
gripe about this episode, and it'll get into spoilers.
Okay, fair enough.
But it was
actually 2.
I could
Fair.
probably say 2, but it's really not that big a deal.
All right. Well, while we are,
Shout out to our sponsors, Tommy B,
yeah, I was
1992,
gonna say, while we do
for
the
10
spoiler,
tier 1 subs.
Yeah. So
You're a goat.
shout out to Tommy B 1992 for the follow, and then gifting
Fuck
10
yeah.
tier 1 subs to the community.
And a prime himself, dude.
Yeah. So big shout out to you, bro. I'm gonna load up the spoiler music shit, and
Yeah, don't let that thing go for 30 seconds. That's all. That's
I won't.
ungodly long.
Yeah, I won't. All right, cool. So yeah, and then when we get back, we'll talk spoilers on the episode and pretty much break it down and talk about the episode itself. All right, guys.
Fuck yeah.
Let us know in the comments below and shit what you guys thought of Loki. If you don't want to join us for the spoiler section, go watch the episode and come back and let us know what you think. Peace.
For a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, not.
This isn't over.
All right. We are back, and it's spoiler time, baby.
Holy shit. That was quick, bro.
Yeah, I was not expecting.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I should have went and changed the shirt and be like, it's a different day, fucker.
Facts. We're filming this on a different day.
Change my hat, everything.
Okay. So let's get down into spoilers. Do we want to break down the episode first, or we just got any like hot things that we want to talk
fuck
about?
that.
Real quick?
My biggest gripe is that Loki got his daggers taken away when they were just given to him.
Oh, I know. I really.
But he has his powers, like.
Yeah, but I wanted him to use the daggers so much. I wanted him to have like a
yeah.
utility belt with the daggers on him. So I feel you on that. That sucks.
Who is that?
Who is what?
The chick. Who is the chick?
Do
we know?
That's Loki.
In a different timeline.
Yeah, it's a multiverse Loki.
Yeah.
I like
Not
it.
a gripe.
I
wish
it was cool.
I just wish it was they call it a Loki, or is it actually like just different timeline Loki?
It is
Well,
Loki,
it's
just
a
another
variant.
multiverse.
Yeah,
It's just
a variant,
her.
different timeline. And she even says like, don't
call me
don't call me Loki. So, which is interesting.
That's why I was like,
which
I don't.
is super interesting
I don't
to
think
me.
it. Yeah.
No, it's definitely Loki. It's definitely for sure Loki.
Yeah, it's definitely fucking cool for sure.
Did
I
you have a
liked
horn
it.
broken off?
No,
No,
she just
no,
had
it
like
looked
like-
it was like a little tiara with 2 horns on it.
It kind of looked like
it looked like one of the horns were broken off. That's
It
what I
looked
was-
like Scarlet Witch's fucking crown almost.
Yeah,
The one that like the force field one, not the like I guess the solid one.
yeah,
The one
fair.
actually made of things. Something.
Yeah, but that's the big reveal in this episode is that the hooded figure is indeed a Loki.
Is
variant.
Loki, but it's yeah.
Well, it's not our
Different
Loki.
timeline. It's not our Marvel Cinematic Universe Loki.
Well, see, this is the thing.
I'm
is
cool
that
with it.
This Loki, if this Loki lasts through this season and stuff, they probably about to bring that Loki into
Multiverse
in the other
into
Thor
this.
movie and shit. Yeah,
Fine with it.
which is interesting because it's like, the essence of Tom Hiddleston, Loki, kind of lives on through that character essentially if that happens, which is dope.
She's devious as shit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Loki.
Um.
And I think it's just gonna go delve even more because I'm better than you.
So what was
Yeah,
y'all's
it's gonna be a
biggest gripe?
competition.
What was y'all's biggest gripe with the episode?
Jordan's is that Ruby didn't stay
Yeah.
on the ground.
I was to say, I thought that
Ruby gets tons of screen time now, dude. I think you guys hate
get her out,
generate her
dude.
more screen time.
Get her out.
Honestly, I thought that would have been the best way
When
for her
when the first
just to not be in the episodes.
when the first dude fell and he's like, "Is he dead?" And he's like, "No, that happens sometimes."
That's
be
why
fine.
I was hoping.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
once out of a
she
million
got
she stays down. B152.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. So I guess.
Oh, my biggest gripe is they're letting him out. He has his powers. Like, why can't he just grab some daggers?
Because he still has the pretty sure that he still has the time collar on.
No.
Or his powers are useless or something.
They're not.
I mean, he was using them.
He grabbed a fucking Roomba as a weapon.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, he needs like, I don't know. I guess like he needs his daggers in order to do that. He can't just like generate daggers out of thin air.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he still has his powers as long as he's not in the TVA's like universe, like world
thing.
Yeah. But I guess
they were outside of that.
Yeah, like without his daggers, he can't like use like powers that are gonna be like throwing blades at people and shit like that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. I didn't really, to be honest, I didn't really have a gripe in this one. I
don't like how they introduced her. Like we're just
it was kind of like
department. We're just in a department store. I'm randomly just gonna drop this body. I'm here.
Make it a different fucking
hello.
Like, you can make up a different world's like a apocalyptic event than a fucking hurricane.
Or maybe if they even like fought
there was
and like he tore the hood off and saw who it was, like something like that.
I mean, you heard him say tsunami, flash flood, shit, fucking a fiery explosion.
Yeah, but
give me one of them.
Well, I mean,
down in a bunker, controlling people.
I was gonna say,
making them get out and ravage food for her.
I don't know.
Marvel, contact me. I got ideas, dog.
I mean, like, I would assume that it's because like those weren't sustainable apocalypses to have like a base of things in. Like a hurricane, I mean, you know, if you're in like side of a building, you're usually okay. Like
this is a class 10 apocalyptic event. Ain't nobody survived there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like before all of that, I mean, she had all of those bombs planted and stuff like that. She's obviously been there for a little while.
Right? Well, she keeps going back, like they said.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it being a hurricane and stuff like that.
I do have a feeling timekeepers aren't actually a thing in this time frame that they keep talking about.
Yeah, I got that kind of vibe too, where there's a scene where Owen Wilson is having a discussion with the judge about deploying into apocalypse timeline where Loki knows that the variant is hiding there, because they cross-reference the location, which it is what is it? It is Alabama.
Yeah.
2050.
Alabama.
Yeah, it's Alabama 2050, and they're at a Rocksmart.
Man, I want to try that fucking candy though.
Yeah,
blueberry.
It's
hell yeah.
They cross-reference all the files, they bet and all that stuff. It's a little fun little wager that Mobius and Loki had.
I mean, it's just pride, but the conversation, like I said earlier, it was about free will. Like we're the only ones with that, like with it.
Mm.
That was it was an interesting conversation that they had.
Yeah, I
His
really
little
enjoyed that.
fucking metaphor was funny as shit, dude. All the salt, all the pepper, and then what was that, orange juice?
Yeah, it looked like it was
Guy was
like,
like, "Oh no, not you again."
yeah, I love the relationship that Mobius and Loki have. It's like, you know, Loki like was like this like egotistical like asshole, and now he's like a little kid in a candy shop just like talking about himself. He's so excited that, like
Oh my
that
god, I
they're
know.
hunting him and it's all about
That's
him. And
it's so good.
um
It's so good. I knew look, I knew it was gonna get better, and I knew it had to, because if episode 2 didn't get me, I was gonna be like, uh-oh,
yeah.
2
um
seasons of this, shit.
yeah, so I have a couple notes here. It's kind of like bullet points. I'm just gonna kind of like read them off as we go, and whatever. If something
That
jumps out, and
that
just
that
talk.
I got one. That first like instance when they go to Pompeii, it pays like big homage to fucking Tom Hiddleston as an actor to learn Italian
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
for sure.
say, holy shit, what did he talk for 2 minutes?
Yeah, he was basically telling them they're all gonna die and nothing matters.
In
Dance while you
Italian.
can.
I was
Yeah.
like, okay, bud, do it.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so obviously, before I even read off anything about the episode, my first note is another hour-long episode. Let's go. Because this is the first Marvel show that we've got.
I think it was like 48 minutes.
What was it?
I think it was 48.
It's 55.
Ooh.
They're both
Okay.
55.
In
And then it was
total
5
with
minutes
the
of.
Yeah, but I was
So
gonna
50
say
minutes.
this
Hell
is
yeah, dude.
this is the first Marvel show
long
where
episode.
it's back-to-back hour-long episodes.
And the credits aren't fucking 14 minutes long.
Yeah. The episode starts off in a 1985 Renfest, which was fun.
That was cool as shit, dude.
I was gonna say I like seeing the TVA come through there, and like the Ren actors are like, "Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like you're not dressed right." Like
some people need this shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, some
Let me
people need
express
this.
my awkwardly weirdness of this. Thank you.
Which was
I
cool.
love Renfest. It's so cool.
All the TVA agents are like inspecting all these tents and stuff like that. One dude has like a little reader on his wrist. He's like, no Nexus energy. And then
I think they all have that.
yeah, something like that.
But still, yeah.
But yeah, so one of the girls gets like green eyes, and then she turns on everybody, starts beating the shit out of everybody and stuff. Crazy ass battle going on. And then they die or whatever. I noted that Jordan had pointed out that the music choice that they did for this battle was perfect.
Soundtrack on point.
Yeah, it was dope. And Jordan was like, "Nice music choice."
For that fight scene, that fight scene was dope.
Yeah, the fight scene was cool as fuck.
Dope.
I like that this variant Loki likes to use. I forget what our Loki calls it later on, but it's like glamoring or whatever, where it's like somebody's under Loki's influence and he basically uses them as a tool. So this Loki loves to fucking do that. Everybody that that this other Loki interacts with is like variant immediately, like like she fucking putting that spell shit on everybody. But I thought it was cool. But a figure it kills all the TVA agents after, the one that she's controlling, or that they're controlling, whatever the fuck, is, done. She takes the time gate wrist thing and she leaves through that. We cut to a scene where fucking Miss Minute is literally on Loki's desk, which was funny and dope.
It was kind of, dude. It's kind of like that same drawing in the first episode when he draws a stick figure and he makes it like a hologram.
Yeah, 100%. And she is like super awesome, and she's like trying to. She's talking to Loki about like basically just like his time in TVA and like asking him a couple questions here and there, and Loki is like rebuttaling back, and like while he's doing that, he's like trying to play like whack-a-mole with her, and she's like, it was fun like seeing her be like, wait, no, like that, and she goes inside his like little computer and you see her and she's like, you're so mean, like that. And he, at one point, Loki's like, "You can't hide from me" or whatever. It's so funny. I love that. Dude, this entire show just has like Tom Hiddleston off the rails, which is great.
Yeah, love it. Gotta love it.
So after all that shit, Mobius and Loki go on like a task mission. Loki gets his cool ass jacket that says Variant on the back of it.
No, he didn't know. He said that's clever.
Yeah. Which is fun. And then I noted in all caps, Ruby's on screen, let's go. So yeah, Ruby basically has a briefing and explains to the task force that, hunting this Loki, they don't know exactly how they operate. We're going down to get information, blah blah blah.
Forgettable.
And yeah, and she basically shows them 10 different multiverse variants of Loki, of what this variant.
It was on like a
Loki,
hologram.
Yeah,
thing,
of
right?
like what
that was cool as shit.
What they could possibly look like, and it was literally like 10 completely different looking ones, man. There was even one where it was like a dude with a beard and sunglasses on with like a beanie on. It didn't even look like Tom Hiddleston. It looked like someone completely
It looked
different.
like somebody out of LA, dude.
Yeah, it was wild. I was
LA.
like, what? And then obviously there was like 3 or 4 different versions of Tom Hiddleston. There was one where he was completely blue with red eyes and long black hair. He looked dope as shit.
He's supposed to be what's his name's like cousin.
Yeah, he looked like straight out of Jotunheim.
Fucking Yondu, dude.
Yeah.
Or Yondu.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was like really, really cool seeing all those different Lokis and stuff like that. And after all of that, they go to the crime scene where we saw in the first part of the episode. The teams basically split into 2 teams, one with Mobius, one with Loki. And they investigate the crime scene. Loki tries to play a scheme on everyone. Is like, "Oh my god, I know where he is. He's outside. He's gonna get you guys." And in order to deliver him to you, I can do it right now, but I need an audience with the timekeepers immediately. Like shit like that. And Mobius looks like really like he's like, "Oh yeah, like all that."
I'll get right on that.
Yeah, and then immediately turns to everybody and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's full of shit. He's goofing around. He's playing a game."
But like these people know where they are too, and they know how to get to them.
Who?
The agents.
Know how to get to what?
The timekeepers.
Oh, yeah, where they are. Yeah, and that's another big reveal.
And they know how to get to them.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I don't think they actually know. They think they know.
But
well, no. At the end,
know.
that chick said, "I
know.
told
I know
them how to get to him."
I know.
All
what
right,
she
hang on.
said.
We're jumping around.
Just...
We're jumping around.
All right.
Yeah. So after all that bullshit, and Mobius calls Loki Professor Loki, which I thought was pretty funny.
That was kind of funny, yeah.
Yeah, which Loki's like, "Why am I
the professor?" On a pedestal.
And Mobius is like, "'Cause you're gonna teach us how to catch yourself." And he's like, "Oh, okay, clever." Blah blah blah. Loki tries to
Mischief Man.
Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. After all of this stuff, what's up, Purdy? Thanks for joining us, brother. We're going over episode 2 right now. Yeah, after all that stuff happens, Loki and Mobius, everybody, go through the time gate, and we actually get to see a charge go off and like basically like eradicate everything that was like existing in there. So like the tent and everything goes away. It was really cool, really well done. I thought it was. Hell yeah, chat. Yeah, we agree that the ending of this one was crazy awesome. So after
he said the end reveal. I did not. I thought that was very lackluster.
Yep. Same.
The end scene was good.
What of
the
Loki?
reveal of her
Who she is.
Loki, was kind of meh.
Oh, I thought it was fire. I mean, Loki was only telling her to like show herself like the whole entire time that She was clamoring everyone. Oh, that's why she said like brace yourself and shit like that.
Well, she was busy, okay? She had things to do before all that.
I don't know where y'all are. Okay, so anyway, so yeah,
we're not even close to that, so
Mobius and Judge have a scene where they talk about the cases going on right now. Mobius explains that he needs to understand this Loki to capture the variant that's on the loose, and the Judge needs to be convinced in order for him to do anything with him. The Judge tells him he's on super thin ice. After this, you kind of see like Owen Wilson become kind of like not like a dick, but he's like really stern with Loki after this. Like he's kind of like a manager.
I actually think he's doing it. He's like downplaying him a little bit, so it gets him riled up. He does that shit on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but you definitely
he's been doing it on purpose the whole time, but it got a little worse.
Yeah, he's like kind of sick of Loki's shit. And there's even one part where Loki's like talking to him, and Owen Wilson is just like, dude, would you would you just shut up? Like, what happened to the guy who didn't
in the elevator who didn't like to say anything?
Yeah, and now I'm stuck with this dude who won't shut the fuck up about himself. Like, be quiet. So that was funny. I like seeing that. And honestly, like Owen Wilson's delivery of like the lines and shit, like it was all believable to me. I was like, yeah, he seems like he's pissed off. Yeah, anyway, so Mobius is stern with Loki, tells Loki that he's literally on his last chance.
Here comes Kyle.
Kyle's finally here.
Howdy. Everything all right, homie? Okay.
All right, moving on. So after all of that, Loki tries to basically Mobius tells Loki, look, you gotta stay in this fucking place, like in this library, go over these files and read every single one of them. Don't come talk to me until you read all these files. And Loki's like a little kid about this, and it's just like
already did
whining and complaining while he's reading the file, and then like the lady behind him is like, shh, and then he turns around and he's like, shh, like that and shit. It was so funny, dude.
It's funny.
I loved it. Yeah, man. So that was a great scene. Loki gets bored of the files. He starts walking around. Goes over to this like analyst of the files that, or like whatever, she like is like in charge of all the files or whatever, and he basically is like, hello, I'm on official time business and I need all the files to the beginning of time, please. And she's basically like, no, those are classified. Yeah, you can't have that. And he's like, what about the end of time? And she's like, no, dude, it's classified.
I thought it was funny. Hang on, before he even talks to her, he's trying to talk to her, and she's not answering, and he has to ring this raggedy ass fucking bell that's been there forever, and it barely makes a sound. It just goes tink.
Yeah.
How may I help you?
Yeah, and so anyway, he's like, well, what files can I have? And she's like, follow me. And she gives him the files that are about the variant that he's supposed to capture.
It was just about Asgard. What the fuck?
No, it's a file with Loki Blaver, whatever the hell his last name is,
on
it and everything. So he opens the file and he's sifting through all the files and paperwork and stuff, and he sees the destruction of Asgard, how it's like an apocalypse and stuff like that. Shout out Onyx, big Onyx on the cam here, official Roach Room mascot. Don't swipe his tail down like that, dude. How dare you? Yeah. So after all of that shit,
Stop.
He basically is like has a eureka moment, and he's like, I got it, and he rushes over to Mobius and basically explains what Stone was talking about earlier with the salad. He takes Mobius's salad, he takes a salt and pepper shaker, and there's like a can of like Fruitopia or some bullshit like that. I don't know what it was.
But
it was empty. It was the soda can was The soda can was empty though.
Yeah.
So he had to go back
salty.
to the dude with the Infinity Stones in his desk and be like, "Let me."
It's you.
I was about to say the guy even was like, "It's you."
Last time he saw
fuck,
him, he was
that's
like, "I'm
funny.
going to murder you."
Yeah, it was
I'm gonna
so
gut you like a
amazing.
fish. What's a fish?
Can you stop?
Destroyed a man's salad, and he still had no idea what the hell he was talking about.
Yeah, Mobius. So
Yeah.
he's like explaining how he's like taking the salt and pepper shaker, and he's like, "I can do whatever I want in this timeline because it doesn't matter," and like shit like
Don't
that.
do it.
That was,
Don't do that.
like
Or
that
the
was
apocalyptic event, of course.
And Owen
I felt
Wilson
like that
is
was
like,
a shot at him.
It was
He's
so
like, "Don't
funny.
make fire."
He wasn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
that mad about the salt and pepper.
Yeah.
It was until the fucking
then-
juice box came in. He was like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
No,
Yeah.
I think it was after the first one, and then he was like, "But then I could just do it." But why would you do that? Don't add more fire to it.
Yeah, yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, little subtle hints were funny.
Such a good scene between the two of them, and basically he convinces Owen Wilson's character Mobius that the variant is living inside of a apocalypse timeline where, you know, because when they're there, the TVA doesn't know about anything that's going on inside of the timeline other than the fact that it's going to end. And because it's ending, the variant can do whatever the fuck they want inside of that timeline, and there's no variance variant energy detected.
Yeah, it's right. It says that on the files. That was actually pretty
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
And how that he put that 2 and 2 together and shit.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect. It's perfect because you can literally leave, come back, leave, come back.
Right. So, Mobius is like, you know, what are you talking about? You got to show me. Loki is like, why don't you take me to the destruction of Asgard and Ragnarok, and I'll show you. And Mobius is like, oh yeah, so you can go back home? Like, oh hell no, bro, I'm not.
Let me take
falling
you to
for
where
that.
you're from, so you can just escape and.
Yeah, and this Loki is like, well, you could take me anywhere, and he's like, well, all right, well, I don't know, blah blah blah, and then the scene flashes forward to 79
AD.
AD in Pompeii, Italy, right before the volcano is about to erupt.
Mount Vesuvius.
And that's the scene that Stone was talking about, where Loki is speaking in a fluent Italian and is like talking to everybody, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Loki. You're all about to die. This volcano is about to blow up." Oh, and before
we
all
know
that,
this because we're from the future.
We're from the future, right?
Before all that, Owen Wilson and him have like a discussion where Mobius is like, you know, dude, you can't do all this crazy shit because then it's gonna get recorded.
It was a whisper
and,
conversation.
Yeah, and like basically tells you know, Loki, like, look, like you cannot do this, like you're gonna cause like a crazy amount of variants, like timelines all throughout this crazy shit. Yeah, and like it's gonna be a big mess. And because Loki has to prove himself, he's like, you know, let me go out and do this, and then starts doing all that crazy shit in Pompeii.
It still happens.
The volcano blows up. Loki releases all these goats and is like, "Run, my horned friends," and like is acting like a wild man, saying this, that, and the other. And Owen Wilson gets out, you know, the little wrist doodad thing that they all carry, and it says 0 variance energy detected. And you know, Loki is like, "See, I told you," and Owen Wilson is kind of also like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, you know, we didn't know this.
You're actually onto something.
Yeah, this is right." So after they get done doing all of that, Loki proves that
swallowed up by the volcanic eruption.
Yeah, they do. Because you know they're for dramatic effect, and it actually looked really cool. Like the blowing up of the volcano and stuff.
I was expecting the transition after to them being like ashy and whatnot, but they were completely fine.
I know. That would have been funny as fuck, dude. That would have been funny if like they were like
dust when they came back.
Like, oh my god. Yeah.
Transition to power, Loki. What? Yeah. I used magic.
After this happens, Mobius and Loki walk to kind of like the common area, it looked like, of like the TVA, where they can like eat food and stuff like that. And Kyle, just put your hand up to it like that and then pull it away. That usually works.
No,
Yeah,
it's a
maybe not.
C920, so it's a piece of shit.
Fair.
Disconnect, reconnect. There you go.
So yeah, so anyway, there we go. They're walking to this common area. They sit down, and this is where they have that conversation that Stone was talking about earlier, where it was, yo, you know, what is free will? So if you know, if everything's planned out and, you know, everything, the TVA knows it and all that kind of stuff, so you're telling me that we don't have any free will at all, like, and everything that we do doesn't matter because it's already planned out and all that kind of stuff. And Mobius and him have this conversation of like, well, yes, but it's not. It's kind of more complicated than that. There's a couple branches that you can go off here and there, and they kind of lead back to the same central point where you're supposed to be, but it's not just kind of like white and black. Like, this is kind of like the gray area of time. Like, we handle this certain shit.
Right,
so
and everything's not. They're not everything. Most of the things are already planned out, ready to go with which choice you make.
right,
But sometimes it isn't,
right,
because he even said, "Well, what if I do this and or something else?" And he's like, "Well, they're still writing it,
right.
so
Yeah, they're
not just done and getting sidetracked. They're still writing it. So
Yeah.
not everything is completely set in stone yet,
right.
so to speak.
The timekeepers are untangling the infinite twines of time or whatever is what Mobius says, something along the lines of that. And
Something that sounded smart at the time.
yeah, so it was a good conversation though. It was really interesting looking at it from that perspective and seeing those characters kind of talk about that kind of shit. Loki says this cool ass quote where he says, no one bad is ever truly bad, no one good is ever truly good." It kind of gets like the gears turning in Mobius's head.
He talked about the little kid.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, let's go get the bubble gum because that is something that we pulled from that timeline that is variant. Like, that is not supposed to be
evidence,
there."
quote unquote. Yeah.
So
It was medieval times, and there was fucking blueberry there.
yeah,
Okay.
Bubblicious or whatever the fuck it's called.
Kabloomy.
And so they get the bubble gum that we saw from episode 1. Then Mobius tells Loki that they're going to cross-reference that with the variance energy files or whatever the fuck that they
also
have.
when it was sold.
Right. Yeah. Of when it was sold.
2047 to 2052.
Right.
In fucking Alabama of all places.
Yep. So that's where the variant that they're looking for is hiding. So Mobius talks to the judge and needs to get deployment approved. He gets the deployment approved. They go in. Ruby has another briefing. Hell yeah, for more Ruby screen time because Stone and Jordan love her so much. But yeah, she basically goes over, that they're going into Haven Hills, Alabama, 2050. There's a hurricane going on right now, and it's an apocalyptic event. So this timeline is, coming to a close here. So they end up going there. We get a sweet ass scene of like the hurricane in action and all that kind of shit. It looks really cool. I thought that the CGI of like the storm and everything was really well done. You like saw water just like over top of pavement in the parking lot of that Rocksmart and stuff like that. It looked really cool. How'd you guys feel about that? Did you guys think that like the hurricane and shit looked cool, or did you think it was weak?
Indifferent
About it. Yeah, I thought it made sense. I was like, I don't know, it's kind of like a calm, catastrophic event. Like, you could still do shit in it. It's not like there's 15 twisters around, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense for her to have like a base there,
Yeah, but they said it was like a level 10.
Yeah, I was saying it's still stage 10 apocalyptic event, and it's
but this is also in what, 2050?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's a apocalyptic event that isn't quick. It's
right.
sustaining over time.
That's
so it's
what
a
I
lot
was
of
saying.
time during it to where
Yes.
this apocalyptic event can take 9 hours.
Right, as opposed, and they're in Alabama. It's not like she was posted up in like Florida where it's like getting wiped out first or something like that. Like there's even water on top of the ground and shit. So like that every other state ahead of, or what I'm talking about on the map is like gone. It's just underwater. So, at the end of the day, like I thought that this apocalyptic event made sense as opposed to the other ones I heard, just because I was like, I don't know, it has more sustainability in this like plot than doing it in like I said, inside of like 15 twisters. It's like, how would you do that? Like, like even if
There'd
you
be
are
so
Loki,
much going on.
yeah, like there would be nobody around.
I was kind of upset with Loki this episode. It was good if we're talking to like getting to that part.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it more.
Sorry.
Nah, you're good. We kind of dove into that like immediately because all of us were like busting at the seams to like give out the reveal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, they go into the shelter in the Rocksmart. Loki has to stay with Ruby while they're in here. Mobius doesn't like this because Ruby pretty much let Loki get away last time, or he was able to get away.
Yep. A little skeptical.
Yeah, they Loki even says to Mobius, "You can trust me," and then Mobius replies with like, "Why are the people who you can never trust always telling you that you can trust them?" Like, and so it was a nice little one line from both of them.
Kind of realistic quote.
Yeah, so we pan out from this, and we see that the hooded figure has all of the entire. It's in like the surveillance system of this Rocksmart. Where
it's in the electronics.
She has everybody on camera. She could see everybody. The variant Loki, basically, is controlling this dude who's like looking at flowers and
hibiscus flowers, bro.
Yeah, Ruby,
50% off hurricane sale.
Hurricane sale.
Yeah, hurricane sale on azaleas or whatever they were. And
how often do hurricanes hit Alabama in 2050 where they're just like, hey, we can still sell shit during this?
Right, exactly. And so Ruby is like, is that you? And Loki is like, I don't know, it could be. Like, it's definitely something that I would probably do. And so Ruby gets close to the guy touches Ruby, and then Loki's glamour ability gets transferred onto Ruby. Ruby turns around, basically says like to Loki, like, hey, so this is the person that they got to come and track me down. I can't believe you're working for them. They have like a little engagement where like Loki is like, hey, you're me, and then Ruby is like, if anyone is anyone, you're me. And then they both like smile, and Loki is like, pleasure to meet you, and shit like that. So I thought that was good. I was like, yeah, this is totally two Lokis just chilling, talking. So I love that. She basically is walking. Loki is like following her, and they're both kind of Ruby, Loki, whatever the fuck. Ruby is like letting Loki monologue and basically tell his plot, like his scheme. He lays it all out on the table with this person, and in the course of that, like, as he's explaining, there's a dude that comes up. He's like, "Can I help you guys find anything?" And Ruby is like, "No, I'm good," or whatever the fuck she says, and she grabs him. And then glamour gets on him. Like I said, this episode, this variant Loki is just fucking glamoring everybody. Everybody gets glamored.
And she doesn't have to even touch him. That's the fucking gnarliest part.
Right, exactly, which is dope.
Yeah.
So that happens. This guy, again, another scene where Loki is following her. The comms are coming in on Ruby, because she went, she fell down. They're like, yo, where are you? What the fuck is going on? And, obviously she's down. So everybody's kind of like, what's going on? Loki puts all his cards out on the table and tells this other variant Loki, like, Stop hiding from me. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to overthrow the timekeepers, and take over the TVA, and I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna use it as like a weapon for me. The other Loki,
I could see him doing it too.
Yeah, the other Loki pretty much responds with, "I have no interest in that. I don't really care about what you want to do. And that's that." We cut to Mobius finds a TVA agent inside the surveillance room saying it was real like 1,000 times. She's like rocking back and forth. I don't know what the fuck happened to this lady, but she's fucked up. Like, she just keeps rocking back and forth. Whatever.
She got got mind controlled.
Yeah, so she's
that
just
might leave them fucked up, dude.
Well, yeah, I guess
or
you're
like
right.
she was almost like brain tortured almost because she had to reveal where the timekeepers were.
Well, yeah, and we saw.
It's the only time she's ever taken a hostage.
We saw
so
that
she did something to her.
Yeah, we saw all that before in Avengers movie where Loki controls that doctor and he goes crazy because of it. So you're right. So I guess that's what's happening. And Mobius is trying to.
Yeah, but he doesn't need she don't need the spear to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
Mobius is trying to pretty much calm her down and figure out what the fuck's going on. She just keeps repeating herself. Loki and the other variant Loki who are discussing things kind of get into a fight here. And while they're fighting, he glamours this like huge like redneck guy and just starts kicking the shit out of Loki. And
he looked like a little bitch for a second.
Yeah, and while
the Hulk stepped in.
Yeah, while this is all happening, the girl pretty much tells Mobius that she gave away how to get to the timekeepers and where they are. And that's what we were talking about earlier, where, Jordan was saying that he's speculating that they don't actually know where the timekeepers are, and they think that they know how to get to them, but they don't actually get to them because they've never seen them before, which I also think that's a pretty interesting way to look at that, and I think that's a interesting hypothesis or interesting theory on, the show itself. I think that probably, in my opinion, has a lot of plausibility, where it's like, timekeepers just aren't there, or where maybe they were there, now they're gone. Something like that. I don't know. I think that would be interesting. Leave it in the comments below of this video if you guys agree with Jordan that the timekeepers aren't there. And after all this happens, Loki's fighting and fighting and fighting. The hooded figure basically they beat each other to a pulp. The glamour thing goes out of the guy. He falls down. Or before that, he's like, brace yourself, Loki, or whatever. Dude falls down, and then behind the dude or whatever is the hooded figure. The hands are glowing green, and she drapes her hood. And also, sorry, I forgot to mention this. The whole fight, Loki is like, would you just stop with the games and show yourself to me and stop playing around and this, that, and the other. So he's trying to just be like, dude, I'm trying to fucking help you. I'm trying to understand what's going on. So go ahead,
and
Kyle.
She's just like, I'm busy.
Yeah. She's like, I have other shit to do.
You're not worth my time.
Yeah. But,
Our agendas don't line up. You literally mean nothing to me right now.
Right.
Yeah. The hooded figure reveals the hood, and it is a female Loki. Completely different, just got, completely not Tom Hiddleston or anything like that.
British.
Yeah, British. I thought that she looked good. I thought that I thought it looked like a good Loki, in my opinion. I'm surprised that I liked it that much, especially because she has like blonde hair, and I would assume that she would have black and stuff like that. But I did like the look of it. I thought that it was. I thought that in a like multiverse type situation, I was like, yeah, this is an appropriate way to address another Loki. Especially because it was different from all the variants that we saw that they showed on the hologram. Where it was completely, where it's like if you would have saw her and she didn't have that horn like tiara thing on, you would never know that that's Loki at all. Like,
Nope.
so
Yeah, it definitely gave and paid homage to like OG Loki.
Yeah, for
with the
sure.
fucking helmet and horns. That's and it also then brings you back to the first episode when the kid points to the stained glass window. The little fucking horns.
Yeah.
They weren't big horns.
Yeah, they were small.
smaller horns, and her crown was a smaller horn.
Yeah.
Little tiara thing. It was cool.
Yeah, that's a good bring up. My thing with this reveal was I'm interested to see if this Loki is going to play a role in the new Thor movie with Natalie Portman being Thor. Which would be interesting, seeing a girl Thor and a girl Loki as well, and have them play off of each other and shit. That would be cool as fuck.
Cool. Yeah, John just brought up the point that Loki has appeared as a female in the comics before.
Yes, and that's actually that's a great bring up too, because that is something I was actually just about to bring up and say they have done a girl Loki in the comics before, so this is staying true to the source material, which is super cool. And I think it was done really well in the sense of, in the sense of that in the fight, Loki is like basically begging this other Loki to reveal themselves, and I just thought it was kind of a cool way for, the big, dude to be like, brace yourself, bruh, and then like fall down, and then she's just kind of like, what's up, bitch? Like, so I don't know. I thought it was cool. And I also thought it was pretty shocking because
I got to go back and look at Tom Hiddleston's reaction.
It's pretty. He looks pretty shocked.
I forget. Yeah, I was gonna say I forget what he did.
It's kind of like the first time he saw the actress playing Loki, and he was like,
"Yeah."
Hi.
For me, it felt like I'm
literally watching it right now.
I honestly, and I'll ask you guys the same question, but I was expecting a guy. I was expecting a guy Loki. Yep. Were you guys as well? Like, I was expecting another Tom Hiddleston, essentially. And so this to me was pretty shocking.
I don't think his reaction was like, "Oh, it's a female." It was really, oh, shit. How do I put this? It was what they were talking about at the end. Is him asking, "What the hell do you want from me? What do you want from me?" This, that, and the other, and she's like, "It's not about you, bud."
Right.
That's why he looked shocked. He's like, "Why is it not about me?"
Right. Like, yeah. I was honestly expecting a guy. Chat saying that they were expecting a guy as well. So this to me, I was like, "Whoa, what?" And then I was like, "All right, I'm down, bro. This is dope. Like, this is cool as fuck." So that was awesome.
Hell yeah.
So at this point,
so Jordan, my expectation was to see like actually Tom Hiddleston as another Loki. That was what I expected. That was my prediction last week.
Yeah, same. I was full on board with your prediction. I was like, "Yep, we're gonna see another Tom Hiddleston, and it's gonna."
That would have been kind of cool to see him play, I guess, like a darker version. Seeing her plans and like seeing what she's doing.
Yeah,
it would have been like an even darker fucking Loki. Could have been pretty cool.
And
I'm stoked. I mean, it's not a letdown, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Not. So yeah, after this happens, the camera kind of pans over and we see a charge that the TVA uses, because They say it over and over again in this episode that every time that's a group of TVA agents is murdered,
ambushed.
The reset charge that they were gonna plant gets stolen. It gets taken, and obviously we know
She's done that a lot.
Yeah, obviously we know what it's for now. The camera pans back, and there is a bomb that's rigged up to like, I think it was like
it's a timer.
10
it was a
different.
It was a timer.
Yeah, 10 different charges that are rigged up on a timer.
There were more than 10.
Yeah.
Way more than 10.
Okay.
It may have like
the
showed
entire
a couple.
room lit up.
That whole electronics department had about fucking 4 in each aisle.
Yeah. So she
all
was
connected.
Straight up just hoarding them. Yeah, chat saying it looked like 40 to 50.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. So after all this happens, a timer is going down, and the other Loki leaves through a time gate, and our Loki that we know, Tom Hiddleston, is kind of like, what the fuck is going on? He's kind of just standing there being like, what is about to happen? And in the course of that, Mobius is running down the hallway we see in the background, and kind of coming into focus while this is happening, and he's screaming out to Loki like, no, wait, like, don't do it, like, wait. And then Loki looks back at Mobius, and then looks forward, and then just goes straight through the time gate after her. And we see that the bombs, the charges that are these these time reset charges or whatever, all have time gates under them, like rigged, and they when they're about to blow, they like release into these like time warp gate things, and we flash over to an analyst room that's in the TVA, and it's like red alert, and things are going off, and people are like, what the fuck is going on? And there's like 40 or 50 bombs, since chat said 40 or 50. We're just saying that.
There is. I literally just watched it again and I didn't count it, but each aisle has 4. All right, has 4 to 5, 100%.
So like 40 or 50 bombs in the sacred timeline, like the
they're all reset charges.
Timeline. Yeah, reset charges in the sacred timeline, and then like the episode like ends. Like, Loki goes through the time gate and it ends.
Where are they going to come
what
out,
the fuck is about to happen?
They all have to be, like, designated to a certain spot.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know.
You think it's all going to go right back to the TVA?
They show
it can be completely
the
random.
Whole entire thing.
They show on the
so that
monitor.
little thing is just a door portal, like you see them all walk into, that she rigged up. That's what all the wiring's for.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, just random points in time have been erased.
Yeah.
So it creates a branch off from that moment from 2 different paths. And then each one of those bombs just created another timeline variant.
Exactly. Yeah,
exactly. And they only have like 3 minutes to fix it before it actually causes a problem.
Right.
Whenever they got the site.
Right.
Exactly. So this entire episode just opened up Doctor Strange.
That's I'm glad you brought that up, because I was about to be like, so this is a multiverse event, it's turned into a Nexus event, which leads into the realm of madness and Doctor Strange. So
because with this second Loki, it already confirms the multiverse in this universe.
Yes.
Even though they're saying it's one singular timeline, they're trying to stop it. It's multiple timelines strung together in one giant cord.
Yes. Yep.
I'm pumped.
So cool, dude. Yeah, so this scene for me, I was like, what the fuck? This is wild.
So excited.
Chat saying shit looked like a family tree on screen. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it kind of fucking did, bro.
But all of those charges get sent to random points in time, and rinse, repeat, all that bullshit. So that's where it ended, and in my opinion, I was like, damn, like they answered Stone and Jordan. They wanted it ramped up. They ramped it up, bruh. So,
episode 2.
Yeah.
Also the fact that the new Loki does not like being called Loki. Like actually straight disgust at the name.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, "Ugh, don't call me that." I was like, "Yeah, all right, bet." Like this is I love the show. I think it's interesting. Like
So
especially what's going on now.
so about like I want to say a quarter way through the episode, I suspected the female Loki. I actually was probably guessing a teenage version.
That would
Um,
have been cool too.
yeah. But halfway through the episode, after they showed the scene where like actually kidnapped them, I was like, "That's a female."
Right, 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 right.
So as soon as they actually like zoomed in on the person and like the figure compared to everybody else while they're fighting, I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's not Hiddleston."
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was
Can we also
definitely
talk
very
about
interesting.
real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
My little distaste, which isn't
Yeah.
really distaste, but Loki now has magic since he's back on Earth, and he got manhandled like a rag doll.
Yeah, we touched on that. We touched
Yeah,
on that.
I missed that part. I apologize,
No, you're
but
good. Stone was like really upset that he didn't get his daggers and stuff like that. How he like got him and then taken away and
we're like,
all that
why
shit.
do you still have the TVA outfit on?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
He'll probably
mm.
get something else or his
Well, if you
daggers or
remember, so I
something.
rewatched the preview for the series by accident. And there's other scenes that I was like, wow, I completely forgot about that. Like where he has like the vote for Loki pin and
Oh
everything
yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, where are we going? I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that's what I'm saying, man. Like
Like,
I can't wait. See, like I don't know, man. Like this show has me excited for Wednesdays, man. Like I'm so pumped to go home and watch this shit with you guys and talk about it. Like, I know episode 1 was a little lackluster and shit, but I really to me, I had really high standards for this show and they are getting met, especially after this episode for me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, my prediction last week was it was gonna ramp up and it was gonna be a little more fucking exciting than the first episode.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I
And guess
understand
what?
that. I understand that.
ding ding.
I don't think it
As
could have
we shall
gotten any more
receive.
boring.
Yeah. Fair.
Episode 1 was good.
Yeah, I thought episode 1 was good as well, but Stone does have a point though. There was no 15 minutes of flying through the air like it was in Falcon. I mean, that intro scene in episode 1 in Falcon and Winter Soldier is insane.
Need that
It's
as an
so
intro
good.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't need that. I needed the intro of this episode for episode 1.
Well, right.
It wasn't anything big and special, spectacular.
Yeah, just something
Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. Like, it was a lot of talking, a lot of like digesting the information of like where is he, what's going on with time, who is Mobius, like here's Miss Minute. A lot of things are thrown at you in one episode, even though it is an hour long, but it's a lot of stuff within an hour to digest. And I think Stone brings up a valid point. Again, this is the only Disney show right now that's a Marvel Disney Plus streaming show that has back-to-back hour-long episodes. So I'm hype on that. If we get 6-hour-long episodes, I am so blessed if that's the case. Like I love it. Thor is like causing Kyle so much chaos right now. I love it.
I think she burped.
Yeah, I think she
sneezed straight in my face.
She's like, "Hi, Dad."
What are you doing? Are you?
Yeah,
Can
man.
you not try
monster.
and what are you doing?
So
She's saying hi.
what about real quick? What about like predictions and stuff where the show's gonna go? Do you guys got any theories of what's gonna happen next, or
I
no?
don't know. I don't. I'm left to my shit's branching like the fucking timeline is.
Yeah, I
It
think
could go fucking anywhere.
I think Jordan's onto something there with the timekeepers not actually being there. Like they're not actually presently at the TSA or anything like that. I think he's onto something there, man. I think that's going to be a big reveal in this series too, where it's going to be like, oh, they're not actually involved. Like they were at one point, but they're like
the creator of the universe is not real.
Yeah, something like that.
What are you doing?
which I would love that. Oh my God, Korra, hilarious. Kyle, when you have room, oh my God, dude, you got to give us your final verdict for the episode.
7.
7? Okay, I think that's a solid score. Yeah.
7, 7, 7, 8.
Does this one still fall close to the
Korra,
bottom?
what's your opinion on the episode?
I know. Korra's like, hello, guys. Put the headset on Korra, Kyle. And let's get her.
Korra! Korra Jade!
Oh, no. She's like, hey.
She don't like that.
No.
She don't like that.
She's like, get this shit off of me. So funny.
Right to the Konyigin.
Kyle's got a fucking beast version of Loki in his house. All right. So
he's like, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, guys. So that's pretty much it. That's the whole episode.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Great episode.
Yes, that's Korra. And
got 2 hours to burn. There you go.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
It.
I think it's a great series, and I think it has a lot of potential, man. And I think if you sleep on it, you are foolish. It's worth a watch.
I'm thinking about it right now, bro. I probably could have watched episode 1 on like 1.5 speed, and it would have been okay.
Fair, okay.
Because all the boring parts would have just been fast forward.
Fair enough.
To me,
yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, fair enough.
So 1 was just shitting on Loki the entire time, like making fun of him.
Yeah, kind of like,
hey, you're a child. Somebody's better than you. Fucker.
Yeah, it definitely shat on Loki quite a bit. All right, man. Yeah, so let us know in the comments below on our YouTube channel, guys, of what you guys think.
Hit that Twitter, hit that IG.
Yeah, hit the bell for our YouTube to let you guys know when we go live and post new content on there. We got a Sea of Thieves video that's doing pretty well. It's above 600 views, so it's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, all
I'd like
organically.
to get back into that.
Yeah, me too. Especially with this new update coming out. But this.
Well, hey, I'm off till Monday, so.
Fair. But yeah, guys. So this has been Loki episode 2. Definitely worth a watch. Show us some love in the comments below, and let us know what
hit
you guys
that like
think.
if you fucking liked this episode more than the last episode.
Yeah, thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you hate this show.
If you made it to the end, give me a pizza emoji in the chat.
There you go. And we appreciate every single person in the chat. We appreciate Tommy B 1992 because you gifted 10 tier 1 subs tonight.
Fucking Tommy,
and
let's get it, baby.
Tommy,
yourself.
what's going on? How's it going?
Yeah.
I'm always late.
Just giving honorable shout outs to everybody that's in the chat. Absurd Purd in the chat.
P Rabbit, thanks for the follow.
P Rabbit, thank you for the follow.
Little late.
What's up, P Rab?
John in the chat. King Flippy Nips 42. Thanks for hanging out. And you guys, catch us on Sunday at 11 a.m. where we're gonna be reviewing some really fun stuff. We still have a couple of things left over from last week that we didn't get into. That are left over for
I can make this one.
Yeah, and there's some new stuff that's there, as well as we're gonna talk a little bit about our E3 coverage and how much we enjoyed doing.
You sounded very upset.
Oh, it was so fun, dude. So riveting. So yeah, we'll see you
About
guys
the
on
episode
Sunday.
1 of Loki.
Every Sunday, twitch.tv
11 a.m.
/Roachroom Podcast. And we'll see you guys then. Thanks for hanging out. And see you guys next time. Peace the fuck out.